What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the show. I appreciate each and every one of you that is a part of this community. Again, none of you are followers. We are all part of this community together, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for being here, and I'm honored that I have the opportunity to share my thoughts on what's going on in the market, breaking down the signals, breaking down the charts, breaking down the technical analysis, breaking down the news, breaking down everything we need to make sure that we can set ourselves up in the best position with meaningful strategies to manage risk and also to capitalize on highly probable setups so that we can make money over time and expand the capital in our portfolios, not donate that money, not donate our capital to other people. Big love to each and every one of you. I appreciate y'all being here. Now it's time. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, get involved. I can't believe we still have about 52% of the people that are watching on a daily basis who have not joined this community, but you're watching on a daily basis. So what are you doing? Get involved. We're going to jump right into it today. Yesterday afternoon, I did basically do a little bit of a breakdown of the new BitLab trading stack. We're going to be, obviously, it's a primary indicator set that I use to really break down and set myself up with highly probable setups, understanding a wide variety of data, which is organized in a very beginner-friendly manner, while also having deep alpha for the pros. So if you haven't yet, make sure you check out the BitLab Academy indicators, which you can go to right here at let me come right here. You can head over to the BitLab Academy page right here. Come right here to indicators. Come down to BitLab Trading Stack. You get a little bit of a demo of what it's about here. And then this is a video I did yesterday breaking down a little bit more of the strategy and how to utilize these indicators. And again, if you want to get involved with these indicators, we are running a special right now through September 1st, which is give me 30 for 30% off. And by the way, this code does not only work with the trading stack. If you want to get the BitLab Pro so you can go through all of our courses, also have access to the premium Discord, also have access to the indicators. You can use this on the Pro as well, which gets you everything. Or you can go just to the BitLab indicators and use give me 30. Again, when you do that, all you do is come here to indicators, BitLab Trading Stack, click right here, give me monthly access. And then once you put in your information right here, once you proceed to billing, that is where you put in the code, give me 30, and you'll get 30% off your first month. And remember, the BitLab Pro, if you do want the BitLab Pro, that you can get 30% off your first month, but you can also, just so you know, if you click on this and sign up for BitLab Pro, you can not only get 30% off your first month, the same way, sign up with your information here, go to proceed to billing, but you can, this is already discounted around 30, just under 30% off that you get every month, but you can get an additional 30% off your first month if you sign up for BitLab Pro, and do it between now and September 1st. And you're going to be able to enjoy that coupon code. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. What's going on? First things first, let's just take a look at the market. First off, let's go to 24 hours. Nothing's really moving. Okay, we got, Curve Dow tokens down 6%. Matic's down 5%. Phantom's down a little under 5%. Immutable X, IMX down 4.8. Hedera down 4.8. Conflux down 4.5. We're seeing all the way, some small movement and lack of conviction for bulls or bears right now. When we come back up and we look at Bitcoin, we could go just like this. Bitcoin's still hovering right at that 26,000 mark. Look at this. Massive drop, sideways accumulation. Drop, a little bit of rebound, sideways accumulation. This is good that it's still hovering. We want this around $1. BNB. We're going to talk about BNB today because it's sitting there kind of hovering on the edge of a cliff. This could be a potential catastrophe for the crypto market if BNB breaks a key support, and we're going to talk about that key support here in a little bit. XRP, under that 54 mark that we're calling for, market took a bit of a downturn. XRP still sitting right here at 51 cents, a little over 51 cents. Does it have further to fall? Let's talk about that. Cardano, a little bit under 26 cents. Dogecoin also fall sideways. We got Solana fall and sideways, but it's kind of pushing down a little bit. Tron does what Tron does. Polkadot sideways. Matic a little bit down. So we're seeing a little bit of hesitation in the market right now. Everybody's kind of waiting on some news to drop or a narrative to drop or a short squeeze to push the price up? Is the short squeeze going to be fuel for a relief rally, meaning a short-term rally to the upside, only to set up for smart money and people that have a strategy to take advantage of higher prices to take a short from or take profits on that swing to the upside, only for it to fall further down? Or will a short squeeze result in a follow-through and retest back up into that $31,000 level? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all kinds of things today. And what we need to do right now is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, get involved. We got 122 people in the room, 80 likes. Let's get that up and make sure everybody's subscribed. Now, if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy right here at Academy BitLab and hit that retweet, hit that follow. We will be doing, I'm going to include today's in this. We will be doing a drawing, one of the drawings today. We're going to be giving away a 3-month membership to the BitLab Trading Stack. That's right, 3 months for free. So go ahead, everybody, get involved here. If any of the mods win, I'll send you some merch. But I took care of all you all with the indicators, so we will be passing that on to somebody else. I do appreciate y'all's support. And again, if you're not following me yet, head over to my page here at Kelly Kellum. Look for the blue check, look for the hit logo, and give me a follow. Always sharing all kind of different stuff here. What's going on in the markets and great stuff here. And I just want to make sure, because all of us content creators have so many fake impersonating accounts out there. I just want to make sure you're following the one and only Kelly Kellum. It's right here. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of these things. Now I want to jump in first. Let's do a little bit of overview of the charts. Then we're going to go into the news, what the context of the situation of the day, where we're at in the week, and then we're going to come back and do a bunch of TA on everything going on in the market. So we got a lot going on here. So let's stay involved. 4-hour chart, Bitcoin. I'm looking at the Bitcoin Coinbase chart. Now what I want you to notice is we got this perfect swings here on the BitLab trading stack here. This is the BitLab Intelligence, as we can see here. Got a bullish signal here, moved up. Got a bearish signal here, moved down. Got a bearish signal here, moved down, and actually lost the level. And this is where we had that capitulation that was down about 12%. Massive, massive move in a short period of time. Now, it's not some 22% move, but in terms of the time frame that it took for this to happen, it's a pretty substantial move. If we stop looking at the percentage, we could say, what is the dollar amount move? Well, it went from 29,000 down to, depending on the exchange you're looking on, the mid 25s. It's a $4,000 move in the matter of, it was a multi-$1,000 move in the matter of minutes. And then in the matter of course, as you can see on these 4-hour charts, 4-hour candles, that the move kind of it did take a little bit of time. If we take it from right here, we can see this to here is about 1 day, 20 hours. So almost 2 days was the full follow through on this move. But markets, we had that pinch, very sharp pinch and volatility, meaning price action was consolidating. I mean, look at this. This whole period, the price action was having some very quick swings to the downside, then back up and back to equilibrium, upside, back to equilibrium until we fully lost it. When we started that consolidation, even though the price was a little bit higher, over here on that first attempt up to over $31,000. And we were consolidating in this range until we lost this level right here, option J. We could see this sort of lows here. Once we bounce, we lost it, reject, and came down. But we had a lot of consolidation and a very tight range for roughly, we can measure this, 55 days before we ultimately lost that level. This is why that volatility was so constricted. And what happens in markets? Everything happens in markets is cyclical. Whether you're talking about price action, if it goes down, at some point it will come up. If you have volatility compressed, it will eventually expand. If you have strength very low, then at some point it's going to bottom, reverse, become very strong. Everything in markets is cyclical. So we saw this large compression of volatility, or contraction, I should say. And we were calling for some time, probably starting about here, about the middle end of July. we're noticing that BBWP, the Bollinger Band width percentile, the constriction, some of the metrics that show us the constriction of volatility, the lack of volatility was suggesting a big move was coming. And everybody that it's a perma bull thinks that because you're having a compression in volatility, then that means must go up out of this. Volatility does not suggest direction. Context of the market and what market participants do with that context, and as well as where's the sentiment at and where open interest is and the buying and selling pressure, the risk narrative, all these things. This is why, although I'm so focused on Bitcoin and the crypto market and altcoins, this is why on the show every day, we always look a little bit at some of the broader market conditions, whether we're looking at the S&P 500 or NASDAQ, or seeing that NVIDIA, as today, for instance, two days ago, it was looking like it may roll over, but then again today opens with the new all-time high. All these things give us some context to what the risk narrative is. And the reason why this is important is because when we're looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a risk asset. Should it be? No, but it is. It should be a hedge and a store of value, gold, but maybe in the future. But this is still a new asset class. It hasn't reached mass adoption yet, so it's still highly speculative. And due to the fact that it's highly speculative asset, it's going to be tied to what risk markets are doing, what the risk narrative is, especially when everything right now feels like, based on the last 3-4 years, you know, some people still can't believe how the markets are performing, and they're calling for a big crash. Michael Burry suggested there could be a big crash, but actually, let me see if I can find this really quick. I saw it earlier. I wasn't going to pull it up, but let me see if I can find it. How do I? Come on. Here we go. Somebody posted this thing, and I thought it was quite funny. Let me scroll down and find it. It's a graph of Michael Burry every time he's made project this right here. And so Evan said from Stock Market News said, I'm excited for Michael Burry's next warning. 6-month annualized S&P rise after Michael Burry's warnings. So everybody's saying it's such, you know, if they're taking a lead from somebody that made one incredibly good call in terms of the housing market and shorting the market, and you know, they had a movie made about the whole, a book written and a movie made about it called The Big Short. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch that movie or read the book. But we can see, despite that call, 6-month annualized returns of basically S&P going up after Michael Burry warnings. There's a bubble in passive investing. Market went up about 8%. Significant bearish market. Okay, significant bearish market bet. Almost 100% up. Greatest speculative bubble. Almost up 25%. Could be worse than 2008. Up probably about 12%. Sell over 25%. So we can see we cannot take our analysis, even you all here with me right now, you cannot formulate your analysis purely on the calls and the signals that I'm seeing. I'm only here to provide you an outlet, another point of another resource to give you information that you can build your strategy out of. You can compare mine with other people, Gareth Soloway, Frankie Candles, CryptoFace, Michael Burry, you know, whoever it is out there, Tom Crown, Investing Bros. Doesn't matter who it is. Utilize these various signals that I'm showing you and weigh them in context with all the things that you know and the skills that you do or don't have, so that you can formulate a strategy that works for you based on your risk tolerance, based on your time horizon, and based on what's meaningful to you in when you're making your trade decisions. So let's go ahead and get through. Let's jump through some of the things we want to look at. So Bitcoin, we're sitting here. We got this order block right here on the BitLab Volume, part of the trading stack. That's these order blocks. And again, what are order blocks? Order blocks are areas in price action where, as this price action was unfolding, there was a cluster of a lot of different buy or sell orders, typically in high dollar amounts. So it's a somewhat I don't want to say weighted towards, but it does lean into the idea of, you know, institutional smart money and other things where there's a lot of liquidity that has been in the order books at certain price levels. These areas tend to be magnets for price action coming down and testing them as support, or pushing up and using them as resistance. In this case, we can see this happen right here. This large move down, comes back up into this order block, gets rejected, tries again, gets rejected. Now we trade across. We formed another order block right here in the 25.8 to 25.9 range. And we can see right here, price action is right now currently testing in this order block. It does not suggest that we absolutely have to hold this level, but we can see we are testing in this region, because there's, in some aspects, we can consider this bullish, because we have a lot of buying power that's stepped in right here to either manipulatively prevent the fall, or whatever the context, it doesn't matter. A lot of buying orders clustered in this zone. The liquidity interest happened right in this zone directly below us. And we are pushing into the zone right now. If we push down and test the bottom side of this and lose this level, there's a couple things that will happen. If we look at this on the BitLab Intelligence, part of the BitLab trading stack, we can see that we pushed above. This is a weekly VWAP. We pushed above it. We came back down to it, found support on it, lost the weekly VWAP. That's this right here. The weekly volume weighted average price. Institutional traders look to the VWAP significantly in terms of their strategy. Let's go ahead and exit this right here. There we go. I had a window pop up on my screen. But the next thing we want to look at is directly below us is this trend signal line right here, which is a 50 EMA. Combined with some other signals that are tied into this moving average. But we have this dynamic resistance zone below us that we have pushed through. What we'd like to see is this consolidate, long enough, or even start pushing up and have this flip green. We can see with this line right here, this is still in a, bearish. There's still bearishness within this. It's not full bull just because we've pushed through this. We want to see some strength here, or some resilience in holding this level in a consolidation. Now, the next thing I want to look at, and we're going to be breaking down a lot more TA in a little bit, is if we look down here on the Trend Fuel, I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to add the stochastics there. Stochastics are angled back up, but the RSI is angled down. The VWAP's angled down. This momentum wave we see is starting to get concave, and it looks like it may attempt a push down, but right now it's fairly neutral, because if we look at this, this is curving. It came out just a little bit and it's starting to curve back up. So this is a very neutral sort of look. And we can tell that because even here on the dashboard for the BitLab Trend Fuel, we have a bearish signal, a bullish signal, neutral, bullish. So this is very neutral as it is. But look at this. We also have, and I don't like showing you this, but we also have a potential for this sort of move right here, which is flagpole and a consolidation to the side. It's somewhat of a bear flag. The longer this gets, the less likely this is a bear flag. And if that were to happen, look at this. Look where that target points, right in the center of the order block below us. What is this order block from? All the way back here, March of 2023. A lot of people are thinking that this is a level that we very well could hit. Maybe it's a very quick thing on a weekly. We get a wick down on the weekly and the price sucks back up into this. We don't know yet, but we've got to be prepared for it if it were to happen. Let's go ahead and talk about the context. Go ahead and talk about the context of what's going on with the market. And we're going to come back and do a bunch of TA here in a little bit. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, and a bunch of alts. I have a list of alts here. Link, Caspa, Arbitrum, SWI, HBAR. We're going to try and get through all these. XEC, Quant, IMX. We'll try and get through as many as possible. I'm going to try and go through the news quite quickly because I don't really like breaking down the news. It's just important to talk about the headlines because that helps shape the sentiment of the market. And remember, what we're doing when we're trading is we are looking to try to understand where price is going. Markets are forward looking. We're trying to estimate what the sentiment of the market is going to be for buyers and sellers so we can understand that never-ending battle of the narrative between buyers and sellers. What narrative is going to dominate the day? What narrative is going to dominate the week? What narrative is going to dominate the quarter? And we can stack this information that we get from these different headlines in order to understand that better and then use technical analysis to pick what the signals are and the targets to make the trades based on our understanding of that context. So let's go ahead and go through this relatively quickly, and we're going to jump into it right here. So first thing I want to talk about is this report. BRICS abandons gold-backed currency idea, embraces Bitcoin and USD alternatives. Again, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China. I guess this is Saudi Arabia. And what we want to understand with this, what we need to understand with this is that, there's this a little bit of a FUD, but a little bit of a truth to this idea that the US dollar is losing its hold as a world reserve currency. It's still going to be the world reserve currency for some time. I can't imagine all of a sudden it flips in the next 10 years, but we are moving in that direction. So markets, remember, we're looking at, percentage changes on a 15-minute chart, on a 1-hour chart, on a 4-hour chart. The game of global chess, in terms of the monetary game of global chess with different sovereign governments, and corporations as well, and institutions, is they're looking 20, 40, 80 years into the future and positioning themselves for the long run. So this is an important important headline here in the context of Bitcoin is a sovereign agnostic currency and store value and transmittable money form that individuals and sovereign bodies can utilize to be outside of the grips and control of an individual company, corporation, any centralized point. So in reality, in reality, Bitcoin should be something that does become something like the world reserve currency or the world reserve, transactable or store value or something to that nature, because it is agnostic to the whims of a government and sanctions based on what we think you should or shouldn't do. And so this is a big deal. It's not a big deal in this moment today, but it's a big deal going forward when we're looking 10, 15, 25 years in the future, if they do lean into utilizing, even if it's only on a percentage basis, utilizing Bitcoin as one of the alternatives, one of the use cases, one of the exchanges in value that they use for global trade. So we don't need to go deeply in this article. I just wanted to really talk about that, because this is big. Now, next thing here, Bitcoin is in new bull cycle. Is it? Well, let's talk about it. We've had a large bullish impulse the first half of the year. Why is it going down? Well, markets don't just go up. They go up, they get people excited, then markets reverse and they pull back. How far they pull back, if they're setting new lows and all of a sudden new lower lows and then a new lower high, then you start to question if that uptrend is still intact. But when you look broadly, and we've looked up very broadly a lot lately, we've been looking at the smaller charts, and we're also looking at the midterm and the macro charts, especially knowing that the Bitcoin halving is coming up, understanding that despite these small swings that are happening today, it's not that much in the context of things. If we look at this, let me go to another chart. That's the crazy chart. Let's go to this one right here. Here we go. So if we turn everything off, we just look at the price action. Is this that scary? I mean, this was pretty damn scary. This feels scary because we only want it to go up. But in the context of the situation, this is, nothing. Now, it is noticeable. You can see it. But, there's still a lot of work to do. And we know coming here, looking at the past halving dates and understanding that the next halving is about, let's go to April. Let's go right in the middle, option V. I got to turn on all the different lines. Okay. We can see with this, here we go. Past halvings. Push up, sideways, push up, sell off into the halving, and then launch. Push up very early, sell off, a little bit of a push up, global catastrophe, and then post-global catastrophe, consolidation, launch. So where we're at right now, there may be some work to do, but we know based on the way Bitcoin is programmed and also the awareness, and the news media is now growing understanding, and the retail's growing understanding of the Bitcoin halving also drives the speculative nature about what can happen with price. In addition to all of this, we still have, we have the ETFs on the horizon sometime in the next, 2 to 5 months. When institutions get the green light, not just from Larry Fink saying Bitcoin is an international asset, but when institutions get that green light of the actual actionable ability to get involved with Bitcoin, money managers, funds, all these different things. When the ETF is available, it allows access, it allows Bitcoin access to billions and billions of dollars that are in all these funds from money managers. And there's going to be, it's going to be a very interesting bull market once we get towards the halving. So I'm not worried about the small ins and outs. I know each and every one of you right now, and I feel the same way, and I have to talk myself into it and out of it on a daily basis. But we know, we have an idea, at least we have a hope about what is coming and the possibility of where price is going. So we want to capitalize on swinging these trades and multiplying what we have before, where's my, there we go. Before this happens, right? Before just the absolute launch. But you also don't want to get yourself in a position that you're trading in and out and you're making errors and you end up over here with less money than you had here just because you couldn't be patient. So either have a strategy that's working and you don't learn that strategy trading 80% of your profile or 100 portfolio or 100% of your portfolio. If you don't have the skills yet, get on a demo account, get on a paper trading account, or trade with a very small amount of money, $10. If you could turn that $10 into 100, then scale up, then trade that $100, trade that up to 1,000. Then you go, okay. Then you have that 1,000. Try to trade that, and adjust your risk management and learn from your mistakes. Write them down. What was the mistake? What was your fear? What was your greed? What was a trigger for you to take the trade? Was it because you saw a green candle and you bought because you didn't want to miss out? Or was it because there was red candles, everybody's scared, and it comes down into a known level of support, and it comes down to a known Fibonacci that's online with that level of support. And you also see the BitLab trading stack says the momentum's ticking up, and we're also seeing a buy signal on the price action, and we're bouncing on the trend signal line. So you take the trade and you still adjust, you still incorporate your stop loss for risk management, and then you take the trade. Maybe it goes against you, but now you have your risk management in place, so maybe you lost that trade. There's no trader I know out there that wins 100% of their trades. So you've got to be okay with losing about half your trades, especially early on. But how can you make money if you're losing half your trades? Because if you have stop losses in place, you'll lose a very small mitigated amount of money, capital from that trade. But if you're doing, 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 sort of ratios on your loss versus risk to reward sort of ratio, so you lose 3 trades in a row, but you stop loss each time. You're losing, about 1.5%, maybe 6% because you're on leverage and you shouldn't be, but you're still managing your risk and you're being smart. Then when the trade does hit, then you make 7% or 12% or 25%. So those 1 to 3% losses over time get eclipsed by the profits you make from looking for trade setups in scary moments. That's when the trade setups are the best, and waiting for this confirmation. So let's kind of get back onto the track here. Let's talk about some of this stuff. BRICS, we talked about it. New bull cycle. What is this 70%? New money flowing into Bitcoin in 2023. Okay. Well, last week's 10% Bitcoin dip has upended some of the on-chain landscape. RHODL, we break this down in the BitLab Academy coming over here. If you haven't seen it yet, if you come in here to courses, view all, You can see we've got a whole on-chain data course which helps you really understand the behaviors of profitable traders and the behaviors of stupid traders that lose money. You can see it on-chain. You can also see where macro cycle bottoms are forming, macro cycle tops are forming. We go through, I think, 19 or 20 different on-chain charts here. RHODL, RHODL is one of them. It's a very important chart. Where are we at? Okay, the RHODL is one of the metrics taking a longer-term view of what remains a timely bullish market. The metric takes existing HODL waves data, which groups the Bitcoin supply by each coin or specifically blah, 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 doesn't matter. But we can see right here, looking at this chart, these HODL waves. See this at the lows? See where price is right here at the lows? When this dips all the way down, when this reversal happens, the low is in. When this reversal happens, the low is in. When this reversal happens, is this still going to remain the low? Some people are arguing right now because we're getting a little bit of bearish sentiment that price may be going back, price may be breaking the $15,000 level. Now, it's very possible. Do I stack the probabilities for that over, over 40%? No, I think it's probably down somewhere in the 15 to 18% possibility. And one of the reasons why I say that, even that high, is one of the stories we're going to get to in a little bit, talking about Binance and everything going on there. But remember, even if price does go down there, what's on the horizon? The ETFs, institutions, waiting to be able to allocate some of their capital, some of their assets under management to Bitcoin. So we've got a lot on the horizon right now. It's not a time to be scared. It's a time to have your eyes wide open and prepared to acknowledge setups that are showing opportunity. That's what these markets are about. So scrolling over here, we can see, where was that? Bitcoin price spread spreads fear at 26K. Is this the start of a bull run, or is this going to be something worse? Bitcoin's recent drop to 25,000, although many expected, has left traders and investors afraid of taking new positions. Sentiment across the crypto market remains negative, made worse by projections of another dip to 20,000 before Bitcoin price reverses to uptrends significantly. There's a lot of fear in the market. Now, you can't always buy fear and expect to just rebound on that, but we talked about it yesterday, looking at the fear and greed index, looking at everything going on in the market. Right now is one of those primed opportunities that may, notice what I'm saying, may be setting up for an incredible buy opportunity. And we're going to look at that when we get into the technical analysis in a little bit. Okay. Bitcoin price bull runs start in extreme fear. Ardent investors in the crypto market are well aware of the Bitcoin cycles, which are often linked to the halving, set to occur April 2024. These cycles are characterized by periods of euphoria and fear, which mark the beginning of retracements or bull runs, respectively. Greed, euphoria, would be a retracement back down. Fear, extreme fear, typically starts signaling that a market cycle low is near. So we scroll down here. A similar sentiment shared by crypto analyst platform Sentiment reckon that while traders are praying that markets fall so they can get discounted Bitcoin, many feel second thoughts when presented with the actual opportunity to buy the dip. Now remember, this happens every cycle, on every push up and every drawdown. People say, oh, it's at 64,000. I'm going to wait till it gets to 30. Then it gets to 30. And because they're seeing a downtrend, they say, no. I'm going to wait for 12. Gareth Soloway says 12. I'm waiting for 12. Then it drops to 15. No. Then they keep adjusting down. No, I'm waiting for 9 because everybody's saying 9. Then it drops to 15, consolidates sideways, moves out, and they miss the opportunity entirely. The point of this, why I'm saying this, is have a strategy in place. Understand the tokenomics of Bitcoin, the mass, I'm talking mass adoption that is coming. I would say within the next 3 years, we're going to start seeing that really kick off. We feel like we've had some mass adoption. No, we haven't even started. Just like when on the interview that we did about on Saturday, by the way, if you have not watched it, let me come over to here right now. Coming over here, if you're not watching here on BitLab, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy, come check us out. Give us a follow. We're about to break 9,000. Everybody in the room right now, hit that subscribe button. Maybe we'll break it today on this stream. If we break 9,000 today, I will give away 3 free, three-month memberships to the BitLab Trading Stack. So everybody hit that, and I will be drawing that, by the way. Hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that like button. I'll be drawing that based on this one right here. I will be doing a random comment picker from this. Sorry, a random retweet picker. So everybody hit that retweet, hit the like button on today's post. Let's get this over 9,000 today on stream. That would be legit. But point being is, if you come here and look at this video here in the Daily Alpha section on BitLab Academy, we talked a lot with Mark Yusko, smartest guy in the space. I love Mark Yusko. And he's talking a lot about assets and value and people missing out on opportunity because the opportunity presents itself in the chart and people, there's greed and fear and FOMO and lack of understanding of data. And especially when we're talking today, you know, where were we at? We're talking today about the price pulling back. Could it drop down to 24 or below? Will it go to 200? I think it's very possible that both happen. And this goes back to what I was saying about that, about the adoption. Mass adoption is coming. The S curve, meaning you have very, very early comers. Okay. Then you start getting some awareness and you get this curve up where we're right about that right now, where we're starting to get, you know, we have millions of people worldwide that are involved in the digital asset ecosystem. And then you'll get mass adoption, which I think the ETFs in the US are going to be one of the catalysts for. As institutions get in and more people that have been resistant to Bitcoin because they don't understand it, partially because all the FUD narratives on news media and just people, Bitcoin, it's fake money. Where does it come from? Where the hell does a dollar come from? Somebody presses print on a machine somewhere and they make fake money. You want to tell me Bitcoin's fake? Get out of here, you dummy. Mass adoption's coming. So let's look at these drops in price, whether it holds here at 26 and moves up, or it drops to 20 to 22, maybe goes down, fills a CME gap down there. It's not going to scare me. Even if I'm out of position, I didn't take a short or I didn't exit any of my longs, I'm going to be looking at the opportunity if price does go there, because it very well could. And I'm going to, I might sell my guitar and buy more Bitcoin. I don't know. You might see me out on the street corner with my leg out and say, hey, baby, I'm going to be getting that capital to make sure I can take advantage of those prices if price does go down there. But we're going to look at the TA here in a moment and see where the probabilities are stacking for what's going to happen with price. So Bitcoin is on the edge, balancing its support at $26,000 amid glaring dips to $20,000. Investors are fearful that these dips will put their funds in jeopardy, especially there not being a guarantee that losses will not stretch beyond 20,000. So there's fear in both directions. It's scary to buy something knowing it may drop. But this is also why you have risk management in play, or you have stress management in play, understanding what your time horizon is. If you're buying now, if you're averaging your entries, right? And you're looking for, you know, trying to pull out somewhere near the top of the next bull market, somewhere probably around the end of 2025, then average your entries right now and don't worry about the stress of what price is doing. Pick a day of the week and do your allocations. And then if it drops, don't go, damn it, I just bought last week. You know you're buying again next week. So now you get that lower price as well, and you're averaging your entry down. So you can mitigate your risk also by understanding how these markets work, looking at that time horizon and sticking to a strategy. The moving average convergence divergence encourages sellers to keep their positions intact as it drops further into the negative region. As you can see right here, this is the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence. It's basically showing you the direction of a faster moving average and a slower moving average, giving you an idea of the trend and the shifts in trend. And we can see this is still expanding to the downside, but it is starting to arc a little bit. But we also see the RSIs very, very, very low. If bears keep holding Bitcoin hostage at 26,000, meaning they're not allowing the bulls to move up because there's selling pressure each time it moves up, another breakdown will likely follow. Support from the descending trend line as shown on the chart may provide bulls with, there's so many spelling errors in these articles, with an opportunity to avoid a more considerable dip to $20,000. Despite crypto market structure weakening, rebounds tend to occur during some of the most uncertain moments. And if a lot of people we've seen, I've shown it to you, there's a lot of shorts happening right now. There's starting to be some increased open interest, basically being takers, pressing the market, taking positions, going short on the market. And if that becomes very overweighted, the max pain is if the majority of the people are going short, having the price push up just enough to start forcing those short sellers to close their positions. And what do short sellers need to do if they're closing their positions? They have to buy. That's what a short squeeze is, and that's how we may get a very quick move up. Because if we look at the Bitcoin price, come down here, let's go to the 4 hour. Look at this. Look how fast this moved. What if we get this move down? This is a bit of an inverted Bart Simpson pattern. We get a short squeeze up, a little bit of a rejection at this level, test of this zone, and then continue up to the upside. That's something that very well could play out. So let's continue on here, and then we can get into the charts here in about 5 minutes. That said, the relative strength index is hugely oversold at 20, lower than the 2020 COVID crash. We talked about that yesterday. Oversold conditions imply that Bitcoin is trading below its actual market price, like true, basically underlying value, and often culminate in more significant price rebounds. In that case, it is advisable to tread carefully and be ready to make quick decisions as the situation at hand may call for. All right, let's kind of move on. We're going to go very quickly through this. Bitcoin market catalysts. Okay, so, Grayscale, whatever the ruling is going to be. Somebody said in chat earlier that it came out that the information is not going to come out today, but a win for Grayscale is unlikely to result in the approval of a GBTC conversion to ETF. I kind of agree with that. Depending on what the ruling is on the case, I still think there's going to be a delay in when the ETF acknowledgement comes out. I think there'll probably a grouping of them, maybe 5 to 7 of them, will probably get approved within the same very short time frame, whether it's 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, something like that. But could require the SEC to reconsider Grayscale's application. We also have crypto regulatory bills in the U.S. House, basically awaiting to review bills. This could be a catalyst. Bond markets also could be a catalyst. A deeper slump in the bond market could pose challenges for risk assets, including Bitcoin. But, however, macro events like additional banking system issues. Now, can we talk about this for a second? Is it not incredible that the banking system issues that we had in 2023, that's not incredible. That sucks. But for Bitcoin, when we saw this capitulation, the sell-off event right here in March, this was, we had the sell-off, and then this was the banking issues. Banking issues and Bitcoin, looking at the chart here, sorry about that. The banking issues here, we had a massive explosion in price in that same period. Shows that there's contextually an awareness within the markets, not just Bitcoin market, but the global market landscape of how Bitcoin fits into the picture. Bitcoin was performing well in the face of banks having issues. It has only just begun, right? Let's stay prepared. Let's stay the course. That's all I could say on that. Now, this is something on the bullish note, 200K. Looking at this sort of this curved resistant band of previous tops. This didn't quite make it. We also were a little bit truncated from the Chinese mining band, but we can see these basically bullish parabolic boxes with pre-halving pump sell-off. This is a pre-halving here, push up to the top. And there is not only this chart here, there's Fibonacci extension levels. There's understanding of where the likely X component of previous cycle, where price action may likely go from here. And considering that we have ETFs on the horizon, if this does happen sometime around the halving, then this means that there's going to be a lot of new capital coming in, not just from retail, but from money managers allocating some money from their assets under management to Bitcoin. And we need that monetary energy to create the velocity and the momentum we need to move this ship to get it, if we were to get it up to these levels. Will it get up there? We'll have to see it. We'll have to see what happens when price gets near $90,000. When it gets to $100,000, I expect there will be a sell-off at that event because there's so much hope for it in last cycle that there are going to be people hedging their positions when we start getting up above 85, 90. I think that's going to be a little bit of a hurdle. And then I do think we will break through it in this next bull market post-halving in 2024 into 2025. Now, one of the cautionary things we need to talk about here is Binance, and we're going to look at BNB coin as well. Binance coin woes continue as liquidation fears mount. Now, scrolling down here, we can see crypto analyst Sonny Decree told their 71,000 followers that the $32 billion worth of BNB, basically $32 billion market cap for BNB, is equivalent to 1.2 million Bitcoin. Now, why does this matter? If BNB continues to drop, Binance may liquidate some Bitcoin to support BNB's price. The strategy is sustainable until it's not. Basically, he's saying it's not sustainable. If it fails, we could see a situation reminiscent of the FTX, but magnified. Binance is the largest exchange out there. BNB is a massive project within the crypto ecosystem. When we come over here to the charts, let's go down to, where's my BNB chart? Just type it in. BNB. And we've talked about this on the show quite a bit, and I've been hinting at this for about 2 months. Now let's go out to the daily. Let's delete so many fibs here. There we go. Now looking at this, what are we looking at here? If we move this over here to the side, boom. Look at that. This bounce. And this is kind of a scary line in the sand. This basically $185 sort of zone, because there's not a lot. There's a little bit of, let's kind of make this a little bit smaller. It's not as important, but this is the only stop along the way on the way down. If the price action does lose $185, this move would be relatively quick. And just from this move here, let's go over to, that's a 28% move. And this is not a huge sort of support level, because there's such a small interaction in price at this level, but there is interaction. So this would be kind of the fail-safe line in the sand. And if we lose that, the next line is all the way down here, 75% down of the largest exchanges coin, BNB. So this would have major impact on the market. And it'd be interesting to see what CZ and Binance would do, because on the one hand, if they're selling their Bitcoin, especially large amounts, to cover the cost of propping this up, it kind of is a shoot yourself in the foot situation, because if Binance starts really selling Bitcoin, that would cause people, to look very, in a sentiment nature, very negatively on any bullish outlook, causing other people to sell Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin's dropping, then altcoins are going to drop. So they wouldn't really be able to even prop up BNB by doing that, because it would cause a market panic and sell off on assets anyway. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if this does test this level down here at 180, 185. So we want to keep an eye on this. Now, I think that's enough stories and news here. I think it's time to get into TA. Everybody, right now, I want to see everybody in the room. We got 208 people, 171 likes. Everybody in the room, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. And again, if this is your first time here, let us know in the comments right now that this is your first time here. We'll welcome you with open arms. We're about to break down the charts. TA, look at the signals of what the market's saying about potential setups, where we're at, bullish, bearish narrative. So everybody, if you're ready to get into it, do some TA. Throw a 1 in chat right now, and we will get into it. Now, let's go ahead, double check over here. Let's see, keeping an eye on it. Let's see if we got to break 9,000 today on the stream. We could do it, because over half of you watch on a daily basis, and you're not subscribed. So we only need 50 people only 50 of you need to subscribe. We'll give away 3 3-month memberships for BitLab Trading Stack. Now let's go ahead and jump in to you guys keep an eye on it, mods. Let me know if we hit 9,000. Let's go ahead and do some TA. All right, BNB. Let's start there since we got the chart up. Daily. Okay, daily we're utilizing the BitLab trading stack to break everything down, which is this BitLab volume here, where we have the volume profile as well as these order blocks. We have the BitLab Trend Fuel here on the bottom, which gives us basically all the different oscillators, momentum, money, money flow, VWAP, stochastics, RSI. And by the way, any of you beginners, if you do get the BitLab trading stack, you can turn off the more advanced stuff and have it very simple look like this. And look out for these triangles. These are suggesting when price action is likely going to reverse. So utilizing these triangles on these reversals of momentum in conjunction with the BitLab Intelligence here on the price action, you can look for a confirmation. So we got a bullish setup here. Just after it, we get the reversal of trend. Boom. And then we move to the upside. We got a bearish signal here, but this was, you can essentially, I don't want to say ignore, but you don't have a confirmation down here on the trend fuel. The momentum is still expanding to the upside. So you know that there's a setup potentially coming because there is some weakness on the way up. So what we want to do is we can see right here, we get a triangle, but we're still at a current level. So you could have potentially taken a trade out here, an exit of a long position, or potentially a short with the stop loss. But in this case, because we don't have any secondary down here, we don't have any secondary confirming signals up here on the price action, I would wait until we got another confirmation. So what happens is this curves back out. We get another triangle, which is also at a known level of resistance. And this has bearish divergence on it, which is why we have this line here. So this line, think of it as pointing to this one stronger, because we had the price moving up while the momentum, the trend momentum, was moving down. We got the signal right at the top of this price action right here. So boom, we could have taken that position to the downside. So where we're at right here, this is looking stair step. Question is going to be, where is this going to go? Look at this on the BitLab Trend Fuel here on the bottom. We have expanding trend momentum to the downside. And not only that, is this getting deeper to the downside. All these are red. All these are red. We also see these candles are purple. The candles being purple is part of the BitLab Intelligence. It lets you know that there's a lot of selling volume in these zones. We also see on the Trend Fuel down here on the bottom, all these bars are red. It's very similar to this. It's showing there's a lot of selling pressure coming in right here. Now, looking at the dashboard here on the right, we're getting, it's leaning, it's not fully bearish, but it's definitely leaning bearish because we have one bullish signal flashing, but then we have bearish, neutral, neutral, bearish, bearish. So we are getting the triangle here, but what did I say? Do you just take a buy because you see a triangle on the trend fuel? No, we want to have we want to have a secondary and usually also a third confirmation on the price action. In this case, we do not have that. We have selling volume still. While this is looking like it's trying to clip over, we do not have a clear signal that this is going to reverse. So let's go down. Let's look at a little bit smaller time frame. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So this is finding resistance on, look at this. It lost to 50, it lost this basically moving average area here where we have the dynamic support zone. We lose that in the trend signal line. Now we're under the weekly VWAP, which is this yellow line, finding resistance, slight deviation, but rejected at the VWAP. Consolidation here, rejected all the way down, rejected into the dynamic resistance zone, rejected right here at the 20 moving average, the slightly brighter line and the EMA ribbon, rejected, coming over, traveling through, rejected at the trend signal line right here. And the weekly VWAP, look at that, rejected. Trying to trade into it, rejected. This is showing weakness. I would assume with this price action that this is working its way lower. We can see, remember, we were talking about the 185 region. Look at this. We have this from the BitLab volume here on the bottom. We see we have some order blocks that now we rejected from. We have a little bit of a liquidity magnet down here in this exact zone we were just talking about, anywhere from 182 to 192. So is price going to come down here and tap this level? I think it's very likely. So let's look, let me look at this list that I got. Link. You guys want to look at, let's look at ETH first, and we're going to finish with Bitcoin. And I will be doing TA on BitBoy today. So come over there, drop your lab coats in the chat. Drop some positive comments. Let's go show them what the BitLab crew is all about. All right, we lost this level, came down into the zone. We're on the 4-hour. Dynamic resistance gets rejected right here, right around the trend signal line and the weekly VWAP. Rejected, rejected, rejected. So is there any signal for us? Well, this is, I mean, it's just looking weak, but it is coming into a known support level. So what's going to happen? Well, first off, just looking at the TA of this move. What's going on? Option T. Let's do it from here. Be a little conservative. If this were to lose this level, this would be suggesting we're coming down into the low 15s. See this? This is this flagpole there extended to the downside. Now, when we're looking at the actual signals on the BitLab trading stack, we can see, let's turn off all the lines, just look at the signals. Okay, yeah, see, this is getting rejected each time. It tried to break above the weekly VWAP, got rejected right at the trend signal line. Rejected, rejected. Look at this. Went right over to the weekly VWAP, rejected. This is, if we break this level right here, which is 1643, if we lose this level directly below us, I do think we're going to come down and test at least to 1540, 1545, which is where this wick comes down to. It is interesting, though, that the volume is falling off a cliff. This may just be consolidating sideways for a moment. We do have a trend signal right here, triangle, but we have no supporting secondary confirmation here on the chart. This is on the daily. Let's get down to the 1 hour. Let's see what things are saying here. What's going on? So this is, look, it's just being held under the weekly VWAP. It just lost the trend signal line. Again, yeah, we're looking at 1643. If we lose it, we're coming down. If we do push up, we have this order block directly above us, 1640.85. If we're able to take that out, then maybe we can work up, but this is sort of the line in the sand. If we do break above that, I think the next level up would be 1730. But as it stands right now, things are still looking like they're on a nice edge. Look at the dashboard here on the Trend Fuel. It's suggesting there's more bearishness in the signals than not. So this is leaning very bearish. And look at this high volume zone that we're sitting right below as well. So Ethereum's not looking too hot and healthy. Cardano, down, round. Look at this. Look at the dashboard here, bottom right. Bearish setup. Tried to work its way above. We're on the one. Let's go to the 4 hour. Strong signal a little bit early and then comes all the way up here. And what do we get? We got the teal candles. Teal candles. Similar to these green bars right here, like we saw in the red. A lot of buying volume here. We see the buying volume in these candles too. And when you get stopping volume and likely reversal is when the candles go from teal to yellow. That's a signal in itself. So signal one. And then the follow-up signal is right here where we get the trend confirmation of reversal. So you have the setup here. You missed a little bit of this move. And then we got the yellow candles followed immediately on this next candle right here with the trend reversal triangle right here. And you would have caught this entire move to the downside. Now, where we're at right now, it's getting rejected. Look at this in the dynamic resistance zone with these wicks up into the weekly VWAP rejection, high volume, stopping volume, reversal, rejection at the weekly VWAP, reversal. Question here on Cardano is, are we going to be able to hold 25.5? If we lose that level, I do think we're going to test down into this order block that's down below us, likely even down here into the 24s, which is where this wick's down to, maybe a little bit higher. But I do think this is likely going to test into the zone, which the top side of the zone is 24.8. I think it's going to test somewhere down here between 23.9 and 24.8. And then we can evaluate if it may go lower. Look at this on the 4 hour. There's a little bit of bullishness on the VWAP. You can't see it because, there we go. So this is a VWAP signal. This just means that the price action looks like it's trying to come back towards the VWAP, but we're getting mostly bearishness on the dashboard here. So if we look at this again, if we zoom in on all the stuff here, stochastics, RSI, VWAP. So stochastics coming down. Are they resetting for a reversal? As it looks right now, it's all going to depend on if we find support. If we find support here, this would be maybe a setup for a move to the upside because the stochastics are coming down, looking to reset here. We would like to see the trend wave start rolling over, though, if that's going to be the case. That's Cardano. Now let's go down to, we haven't done GRT in a while. Let's look at GRT. Where'd it go? GRT, the graph. Boom, boom. That's stochastics trying to reverse, but there's conflicting signals. You see this? Stochastics is orange, RSI is purple. We see that the stochastics came down, tried to reset, but the RSI pushed up and rolled over. So the RSI is saying the strength is not there. The momentum also is showing coming down. We also see the VWAP angle back down. Finding resistance here at the weekly VWAP on the BitLab Intelligence. It's trying to lose the trend signal line right now. If we find support here and then push up and break this weekly VWAP, then potentially we could be going up. But this is looking like it's kind of being strangled in the zone and likely will test down into the 8.6, 8.7 zone. If we lose that level, then the price action is likely going to continue moving down. Now, if we looked at, so this is sort of the line in the sand, 8.63 to 8.6. 863 to 8888. If we hold this zone, then we're going up. If not, then I do think that we potentially could be coming down to this 6.7 where this order block is below us. Now let's see Link. You guys want to see Link? Who out there holds Link? How long have you been holding it? What price do you get it at? Got 195 people in the room, 190 likes. Oh, we're doing pretty good today. Big love to everybody. Did we break the 9,000 yet? Did everybody get involved and hit that subscribe button? Oh, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Link. All right, we've been talking about this. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just bearish. Now we're trapped. Look at this. We're trapped right between these two big liquidity zones. Order block from over here. Order block directly above us. And look what price is doing. It's consolidating, tapping both sides of these ranges. I love the BitLab volume for this. It's part of the BitLab trading stack. You get all this. Again, if you guys want to get involved with this, it is 30% off right now, as well as the BitLab Pro, as well as all access. Just use give me 30 at the checkout to get access to the indicators. But if we lose this, if we push down into here, which I do think the price action will push down into here, the low sixes. I'd like to see it bounce above 5.9. But if we lose this level here, if we lose 5.9, the next level is going to be down here at 5.47, which is the top side of this range, bottom side of this bounce, which is also about the 1.382. So look at this. Yeah. Let's go ahead and delete that. So if we lose this level, I do think we're going to be coming down here to this. If we're able to find support and work our way back up, then we could talk about those levels when that happens. But we look at this. We had this attempt here, bullish divergence with a lot of selling volume. You see all this red in the wave here? This is suggesting that we do have a setup for basically a stop movement of the downside because we do have a bullish divergence on the momentum compared to price action, but there's still a lot of selling volume present. And we can see this being stifled as this comes across. Stochastics already got overheated. The price never even went anywhere. Price never even went anywhere. So we could tell that there's not a lot of juice for this to make a move right now. We'd like to see the stochastics come back down and reset. So let's look at, where's my thing? Okay. SWI. I don't know if I've ever looked at SWI, so let's look at it together. Let's go to the daily. Bullish divergence, but there's a huge bearish narrative in the market right now. So until that changes, let's see. So rejection, rejection, rejection. We do have bullish divergence. Look at a lot of things setting up bullishly, but we're also right at this could push up to this level and get rejected. So let's go down to a smaller time frame and take a look at this. So looking at all the indicators here on the trading stack, we got the stochastics. This orange line has bounced right at this bottom. We got the RSI has moved up, but we starting to get a little bit of a trend line that we can see right here where the RSI did get rejected. If we want to see this move attempt to come up here, RSI is going to have to break this level that we've established. The stochastics do show there's plenty of juice to go. So this could just be a small hesitation before a small continuation up here to the 566 sort of zone. We can tell that because the stochastics have reset. And we can also see on the BitLab Trend Fuel that this is basically rolling back over, but we're not seeing any positive movement on the money flow, which is this blue and purple wave here, as we can see here. If I double click on this, turn off stochastics, RSI, VWAP, this is how you do it. You go into BitLab Intelligence right here, go over here to style. Actually, BitLab Trend Fuel, my apologies. Style right here, style. You could turn on your stochastics, RSI, and VWAP, or have it very clean looking if you're more of a beginner or you just want the clean look. Money flow, positive, negative, positive, negative. And this is looking like, if this sets up to be a very, this move right here could be setting up for some potential break, but we want to see that signal once this comes up and tests this level. What's going to be the signals when we get to this level? Again, if we double click on this, turn on the stochastics, we can see the fuel to potentially go has reset. So that's good. The RSI, that's what we're watching right now. We want to see this start expanding back to the upside. The VWAP shows that there's still expansion above and away from this VWAP. We see this price moving away from it. When this starts rolling over and starts coming back down, that shows that these smart money and bigger money players are playing the swing that will probably come back below this line. So this is how we can read this. We are seeing predominantly some neutrality, but a lot more bullishness on this move right now. The question is going to be what happens when the price action comes in area with this line. Now let's look at IMX. We're looking at some all kind of different altcoins today, and we can see move to the down. Let's look at the daily. Let's turn off all the different lines. Trend signal line. It's not very convincing. It's gray and red and green, but so it's not showing a strong trend because this is just consolidating sideways. At each one of these peaks, we can see we have bearish divergence. This is part of the BitLab Intelligence. We see 4 bearish divergences right here before the breakdown, and that is MACD bearish divergence, demand index, Chaikin money flow, and momentum, all bearish. And what happens? We lose this trend signal line, and what happens? It turns deep red, and we also get this shaded area, which is dynamic resistance zone. Temp to the downside, a lot of selling volume we can see on the momentum wave here on the trend fuel. We can also see it happens right here. Now, we do see a potential reversal here on the BitLab Intelligence, but again, remember, we want to utilize multiple signals from the 3 indicators we have to find a setup and then a confirmation. This is a setup because we saw a lot of bullish buying in this candle, but down here we see a lot of expansion to the downside. We see weakness in the RSI coming down, so you could have basically ignored this signal because there's nothing that's agreeing. Now, we do get a high volume candle that gets eaten back up, and we get stopping volume, and then right after that, we do get a triangle. However, we're at the same time we're getting a triangle, we see the RSI is moving down. There's weakness at this triangle, and the price action is already moving down away from this weekly VWAP and also this EMA ribbon. So when you see conflicting signals, that means don't take the trade. Now, there's a setup here that could be happening. If it does happen, this is on the daily, maybe we get a W formation here. And if we do, if this starts to reverse to the upside, if we break this zone right here and we have some, other supporting indications on these indicators, then there may be a setup, but I'd be very skeptical about once this trend signal line gets down into this order block zone. if the price action can overtake this zone right here, which is still within the order block, and the 50 exponential moving average trend signal. So we even with potential bullishness here, I think it's going to be short-lived on IMX. If we lose this level, I think we will be testing down to this order block again down here at 53 cents. If we're able to hold that, then maybe we bounce. But as it stands right now, this is the levels I'm looking at. If we do lose this, potentially down here into the 3/8. Let's see. Let's look at AVAX. AVAX took a little bit of a spill. 1013. Okay, we got the triangle, but no other confirming signals. So the momentum's trying to, right after it, look at this, we get red bars. This means a lot of selling volume. We got the VWAP rolling back over. We have the RSI angled down. So although we got the triangle, the other indicators are saying, okay, the trend tried, but there's no fuel for it. That's essentially what you're seeing. So what does that mean? We're on the daily. Let's go to the 4-hour. Attempt right here. No other signal. We do get a 4 bullish divergences right here. But this is still, we see the price action. We see the price action on these 4 divergences is pushing up and gets rejection right at the VWAP. And as soon as this happens, stochastics come down, RSI is coming down, VWAP's going away. The price action is moving away from the volume weighted average price. Comes down, pushes into it again, comes down. Look at this, mostly bearish. I think that this is likely going to come down into the high 9s, 983 to 99, somewhere in this zone. That's what I'd be looking for. If we do form a base or anything in here, then potentially we could start moving up. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Now let's head over to Bitcoin. Let's see what we're seeing right on this level. We did push out on the 4-hour above the trend signal, and look at this. We did break for a moment above the weekly VWAP, but now we're sitting right back under it. So let's see what the signals say on the 4-hour. Let's go to the daily first. Daily. We got the triangle, but we have no other confirming signals. We had the high sell volume. See this? Stopping volume. But I would not have taken this trade in terms of taking a long here because we have all this high volume still with trend coming to the downside, the momentum wave here. Angle of the RSI is down. Strength is coming out of the market. Stochastics angled down. So as it stands right now, this is still very neutral for me. Even though we have a triangle, we have no other signal here. And we're also being suppressed right below the VWAP right here. So as it stands, if I had to guess, let's go to the 1-hour chart. I mean, everything just looks consolatory. I think we may get a wick down into this zone, a move down to tap this liquidity at the high 25s. If I had to guess on the 1-hour, look at all this bearishness. So that's what I would be seeing. That's what I'd be looking for is a move down to the zone, high buying in the zone, likely come back up. That's what I'm seeing. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure if you haven't yet, you head over to bitlabacademy.com. Check out everything we got here. You can use the Give Me 30, GIVEME30, all one word, when you're checking out, whether you're signing in for the all access pass, for all the courses and the premium Discord. You can use Give Me 30. If you want to get the courses and the indicators and the premium Discord, and you get about 30% off every month, you can also use the Give Me 30 for 30 extra % off your first month right here. If you want just the indicators, you come right here to BitLab Trading Stack under the indicators, sign up right here and use Give Me 30 for 30% off your first month of that. But with that, I love you. I love you all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I don't think that we got to the 9,000 today. Still 50 away. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all again. I'll see you guys over in the, why is this not giving me the option to, there we go. I'll see you guys. I'm going to be doing TA over on BitBoy, so I'll see you there. And with that, without any further ado, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. I'll see you at 3 p.m. today also, so I'll see you there. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hit that like button, sucker, please.